Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another exciting episode of Channel X, the only show on Thursdays that starts the weekend early. I am your host, Tom Dog 247, and as always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Oh, baby, all right. So, I'm having coffee today. That's right, I'm a chaos coordinator. Yeah, goddamn right. uh, so yeah, we got a pretty interesting show to talk about today. We got a few topics here that we're gonna have some fun with and educate and and yeah, it's gonna be really good. And not that it hasn't been before, but before we do that, let's do the shout outs and everything like that. Um, that we always do because it's always fun to do so. Big shout out to my good friend Josh over at Absolute Talk with Josh Albert. Just a few more weeks until he shuts everything down in the archive. So whatever shows you missed, you can check it out till the end of March, and after that, that's it. So um, go ahead and check it out while it's still up over at Podbean.com. Absolute Talk. Um, you'll love it just as much as I do, and we're gonna have and you'll enjoy it. And we miss you, man. So, so who knows what he's gonna do next. So hopefully we'll get a chance to have him come on and and tell us what he's doing. So yeah. Um but yeah, big shout out to him. Always support what he I always support what he does, he's one of my closest friends. So yeah. So whatever he does, Bro Pro is always here for you. So got your back. So big shout out to my good friend Leo and everybody over at the Dorkening Podcast Network. You guys are amazing with the stuff that you do with the podcasting and everything like that. It's awesome, and lots of love here and everything like that. Shout out to anybody who's actually watching right now. So big shout outs to all you, and so yeah, definitely big shout outs all around and everything. And check out their podcast network over at the Dorkening Podcast Network. Tons and tons and tons and tons of podcast shows for you to listen to wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And you'll be glad you did because you'll be entertained no matter what show you listen to on the Dorkening on the Dorkening Podcast Network. And the Darkening Podcast Network is also on on here on YouTube. So give them a follow and check them out. They're a wonderful bunch, and it's always fun to check them out. So do so. Um, and a big shout out to my good friend Mel over at Melly Playful and Tengu. Apparently, I've been saying it wrong for God knows how long. So, um, but yeah, it is Melly Playful and Tengu. They always have a wonderful time playing some video games, and you'll have a wonderful time watching them play those video games, and you'll be glad you did. I mean, Mel always plays some really good games and everything like that, and you'll have a lot of fun with it too. So check it out over on YouTube, Melly Playful and Tengu. So you'll love it. And this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles. You could trade in you could trade in your old video games and consoles. From retro video games, accessories, and systems, You can trade in your DVD box sets and Blu-rays. You can also trade in your sports cards and novelty items, as well as wrestling collectibles and autographed items, spanning from sports, wrestling, and actors. And if you happen to be in the Connecticut area and you want to check out this wonderful store, I'll give you a hint. It's in Southington. So give them a check it out. And if you want to know where in Southington they're located and a bunch of events that they have going on, definitely do so on their website at mjvideogames.com. And then after you do some shopping over at my favorite place to shop, and that's M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Why not go while you're in town? Why don't you treat yourself to a snack, to some treats and everything like that? This here, good friend of mine, big fan of the show, and yeah, I forgot his name. He's going to kill me the next time he sees me. I want to say Mike, but I know I'm probably wrong. But yeah, definitely check out their his shop there, Hardcore Sweets. While you're in town, make some really good pastry. And this right here is a toasted almond cupcake, and I never had toasted almond, and I need to make more of a habit of that because this is actually pretty good. And I also got Mounds, which is a devil's food cake with vanilla cream and coconut shavings with a nice chocolate drizzle on top with a caramel inside, with a caramel filling. You will love it. And I'm washing this down with some coffee. And I know Leo's going to be mad at me. It's not Deadly Grounds, it's regular store brand coffee. So yeah, I'm sorry, Leo. Don't kill me. But I do need to get some Deadly Grounds. I hear their coffee is amazing. Next time I'm at a con and Deadly Grounds coffee just happens to be there, I might pick up a bag. Or on their website at Deadly Grounds Coffee. Deadly Ground. I think it's deadlygrounds.com. I gotta ask Leo. But yeah. Hardcore Sweets. Very good. Very good pastry. It's not like a regular bake shop. You know, if you got some good hardcore baked goods and some really good ones. And especially they even have some pastry for all you vegans out there. So yeah, definitely. So it's enough for everybody. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to turn off the notification sound on my phone because I'm filming it on my camera phone. So yeah. So yeah, check them out. And they also have some other stuff while they're there too. They have a brewery, they have a coffee shop, which I highly recommend as well too. Pick up they have some chocolates, and they have a game room, they have axe throwing, and an escape room, which I have yet to try out. So yeah, definitely tons of fun for everyone. So yeah, lots of great stuff. And a buddy of that that works at the bakery. He told me about a podcast that um that goes down there. I want to check them out whenever I get some free time and see what they got going on. So yeah. Um. So yeah, big shout out to Hardcore Sweets. Definitely worth the trip if you're ever in town. Um. So okay. Um. So before we get into tonight's festivities, I just want to talk about um well, we got the monologue like I always do. Last week I had a topic that had to do with Home Depot, and apparently the women are single women just happen to be shopping there or to not only look for some items, not only to look for some items, but to um, also look for a handyman, so to speak, a long term handyman uh, to date and go out with and everything. So apparently, this was a TikTok challenge where it's a trend on TikTok where um, single women go up there and find some look for a man pretty much um, to have a relationship with, and it's pretty cool. I think that it's better than those stupid TikTok challenges that people either get hurt or killed. So yeah. Um, so last week I said I was going to experiment and try it for myself, and Self was not lucky. So yeah, the quick little update. Self was not lucky, and yeah, apparently I went. I don't know. I think I have to dig more deep into it because I went in the morning, which would have been like a breeding ground because I'm sure there's like um some single moms out there, while their kids are at school or and they just want to look for some, you know, handy men and everything like some stuff to do some do it yourself items and everything like that. So yeah, that it wasn't the case. Apparently there was two things. It was more of it was mostly a sausage fest, and there were some women there, but they're old enough to be my grandmother. So yeah. So yeah, that's the thing that was going on. So yeah, that's so but also in the article that I read last week, they said to try other places too. So I will not give up. I will venture out there in the great beyond to see if Tom Dog gets lucky. I should have went to the pet store, but there are some other places and everything like that. So who knows? It's possible. Walmart is a good breeding ground because there's a bunch of attractive women over there. But I might try Target because they have a Starbucks. And if I get that dragon fruit with lemonade, I highly recommend it because that is good. That is really, really good. Um so yeah, I will have an update on that. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I actually tried out the this this feature that's been out for a while on YouTube, which is the shorts. and I gotta admit, I did one video. Um, one I did a short, and it was actually pretty cool. And it looks like it's going to be something I'm going to do um, in the very near future. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that, and it looks like a winner because I also I gained a couple of subscribers just by doing so. So who knows what's going to happen? So we shall see. And I got another almond in my stuck in my tooth. Uh, so yeah, um, so yeah, check out that little video. Apparently, you got a copyright claim because apparently there was some music, so that's expected. But I ain't getting any money for it, so who gives a shit? But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I actually like it. I'm gonna change up my my logo. You know that, and I have a picture saved, and it looks pretty cool. I'm gonna change it up a little bit and update it, make it more modern. So looks pretty cool. Um, so Nick Cannon, um, I thought from when I heard about this, I thought it was a joke, but apparently it's true. He wants to have a game show. He wants to host. He's hosting a game. He's going to be hosting a game show where where the contestants are all women, and whoever wins uh, gets to be the mother of uh, his football team of children. So yeah. Um, so yeah, it's like who wants who wants I think it's called I think the name of the game show is called Who Wants to Be Who Wants to Be Nick Hand's Wife or something like that. It's something cheesy that involves I think it's Who Wants to Mother My Kids. I think that's what it's called. But don't quote me on that. So and I said to myself, when I first read the article, I thought it was one of those joke articles and everything, and no, it was a legit article, and I was like, you got to be shitting me. I thought, I was like, April Fool's is just like a few weeks away. Why are they not talking about, why is this being not mentioned? So yeah, it's pretty crazy, and yeah, I'm like, okay, so he's doing the game show, and I think, he should also. It's like, why not step it up a little bit? Why not have a have like a reality show where Nick Cannon goes around the world and and impregnates random women in different countries and continents. And they can call it Nick Cannon's World Tour. That would, and you know what, MTV would be more than happy to pick that one up. I that would be funny as hell. I would love to see that. Just like MTV posting that and everything, and maybe I'll be, and if that ever happened, I might consider watching that. I might consider watching it if it's on MTV, even though I have this thing about MTV and the fact that they don't play music anymore. You have to go on other other MTV channels just to watch a a music video, and they even have Yo MTV. They brought back Yo MTV Raps, but you can only watch it on Paramount Plus. So I haven't watched it yet, but I don't know if I will because it doesn't have Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. Yeah, at the time there was two Dr. Dre's. So yeah. But Yo MTV Raps was awesome though. It really was. That show was good. But I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, Nick Cannon. I don't know. It's like who wants to be the mother of Nick Cannon's babies? That I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, I mean, really? And all I can say is that really. Oh, I don't even want to know how much child support he's paying since he hasn't settled down with any of the women that he has impregnated. I'm just saying. But I digress. So got some reviews to do today on the show. So let's get started with that. Episode 2 of the third season on Mandalorian season 3 came up. It was good. Moving on. History of the World Part 2. That they did a 4-day event which started on Monday and the last two was today. And it looks like they might be, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I got to read more into it. But history looks like they might be doing a season 2, and so I don't know if it's been confirmed by Mel Brooks, but yeah. Um, but I actually watched it, and I actually had a good time watching it too. The cat, a very nice cast, and a show like that. It was a very good cast, and so yeah. Um, so we shall see what they're gonna do, and but yeah, if you haven't watched it, um, all eight all 8 episodes are on Hulu right now, but what you got to watch me first. I mean, that's not me saying that. Mel Brooks even said it. He said, "You gotta watch Tom Dog." I can't do a Mel Brooks impression, but that's what he said. He said, "You gotta watch Tom Dog. You gotta watch Tom Dog." There we go. He's a funny guy. I'm surprised he's not Jewish. But I love him. He's a great guy. He needs to get laid too. But yeah, definitely worth watching. Um, I never, out of all the Mel Brooks movies, I will say, and there was a lot of them that I've seen over the years. Um, the only one I have not seen until now was History of the World Part 1, and I saw that on Sunday, and I couldn't believe how far he went with some of the sketches and everything like that. And I thought they were really crazy. There was one scene I've seen when I was a little kid, but I was forbidden to ever watch that movie because um, the movie was rated R, and it was um, it was that one scene that they did where he's motorboating a woman, and he looks to the camera and he's like, "It's good to be the king." So, so yeah, but nonetheless, it was a, and he's right. It is good to be the king. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't seen History of the World Part One, definitely watch it. Then go and watch History of the World Part Two. You'll love it. You will absolutely love it. Um, it's it's crazy. I will say that. And the all star cast is just amazing. Wanda Sykes, I will say, um, she played a good part as Shirley Katoris, who was the first black woman to run for president. So um, so yeah, it was very good cast. Johnny Knoxville was Rasputin, and um, nice little reunion with some of the Jackass guys too, um, which was also pretty funny that they used the Jackass characters and that, and it was really hilarious. And so yeah, it was nice to see the Jackass characters in there too. Ike Barinholtz um during the Civil War sketches, those were fun. Those were funny. Um, and yeah, there was like a lot of good sketches in there, and yeah, there was too many to discuss, and you know, there were some excuse me, there were some scenes that were hilarious, and some were okay on the delivery, but overall, I highly recommend watching History of the World Part Two. And you can watch it now on Hulu, but you gotta watch Tom Dog first. Do it. Like I said, my Mel Brooks impression is not that great. Well, work hard. Yes, Mr. Brooks. That's right. But yeah, he's a comedic genius. He really is a genius. I mean, he can get, I guess it's true that he can get still get away with some of the stuff um because at the time there were things that he can that they said, would it work in today's society? And I guess he proved us wrong. It was like, hold my wine, I'll show you. So yeah, all right. No live chat. No. Okay. All right. So, bunch of trailers came out this week. Um, Also one movie poster, and I gotta do some defending because the Ninja Turtles the new trailer for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem, um, is going to be coming out the day after my birthday. So yeah, that's it's a tradition that around my birthday I always pick a movie to uh, to watch that comes out around around my birthday, and I choose one and I watch it. Unfortunately, we all know what happened between the last couple of years. I didn't get a chance to go. Last few years, actually. But but this year I'm definitely going to go see it, and so yeah, it's coming out August 4th. So yeah, shame it wasn't coming out on August 3rd, because then I would not have done a show. But c'est la vie. So yeah, the animation looks great. I like um what they're gonna do with the animation. It looks like looks like a comic book with some CGI wrapped in there. And so yeah, the animation looks great. It kind of reminds me of and everyone has a lot of other um people have talked about this movie, about the animation style overall. They actually mention, they always bring up the Spider-Man movies, the Spider-Man multiverse movie, um, Into the Spider-Verse, I mean. And yeah, it looks pretty good, pretty damn good. And I like it like that. Moving forward, I think they should keep that animation if they're going to do a Ninja Turtle movie. Then this way too, when they do it, when there's a live action Turtles movie, it's not going to be as good, because this one is actually, mwah, flawless and everything. So yeah, um, a lot of people making some questions and said, why does Donatello sound like a kid? They're teenagers. They're actually all voiced by teenage actors, and yeah, what's wrong with that? And yeah, the one that's voicing Donnie does sound like a little kid, but you know what? Hey, gives him an opportunity to grow into that character and maybe have a puberty thing, where he has a deeper voice. And yeah, and they're saying Tuttle wearing glasses, and it's like, oh, so he's wearing glasses, big deal. And why does Michelangelo have braces? Who cares? But the one that, but the one that actually pissed me off the most was that people were pissing and moaning about the the character styling of April O'Neil, and comparing April O'Neil to the HBO Max Velma. And some, not all, but, and it's like, and but the overall thing is that these so-called fans, which they're not, because they're bitching and moaning. If they actually knew the source material, they would actually um wouldn't be harping about it. And that is the um April O'Neil in this one is black. Big deal. And apparently, if any of these complainers were actual fans of Ninja Turtles, they would know that the original source material was based off of um, Laird's wife, um, who originally was not African American, but she was Asian. And yeah, and but they modeled the character out of Laird's wife, and she but they made the character into a black woman. So yeah, what's the big deal? So there's the original storyline, and everybody's saying, well, in the cartoon, April O'Neil was white. So they're obviously referencing the comic book. Just saying. I mean, just let it go. And it's like, and another complaint that I'm hearing is that, oh, Seth Rogen is involved in this movie. And it's like, I don't know about this one because Seth Rogen's behind it. Apparently, a lot of people aren't complaining um, about The Boys and Invincible. Everyone seemed to love that. And guess what? They're both done in Seth Rogen's studio. Just saying. You don't have a problem with that, but apparently you have a problem with Seth Rogen getting involved in the Turtles. It's like Kevin Smith and He-Man all over again. And believe me, if they knew the original story around He-Man, they would be shocked. But guess what? I'm not going to spoil that for anybody. Original episodes of He-Man are available on demand right now, so find it and enjoy. Then go and watch Revelation. Then go rewatch Revelation again, and then see why the show was good. Trust me. And believe me, believe me, would you rather have that animation, or would you rather have the Thundercats Go Roar animation? Just saying. So, before people start complaining, know what you're complaining about. Do some history. That's all I'm saying. Chaos Coordinator. So yeah, but overall it looks great. The animation, the character stylings, and um, it looks really good. The animation for Rocksteady and Bebop is also good. John Cena playing Rocksteady, uh, also good. And so they're going to introduce some other characters. Ray Fillet is going to be voiced by Ice Cube. So yeah, we got a good all-star cast of some you may know, some you may not know. Jackie Chan is going to be voicing Splinter, which also looks really good. So yeah, some memorable names. Seth Rogen is going to be playing Bebop. Um, so which means now Seth Rogen has two warthogs under his belt of voices. So we shall see how well it goes. And so yeah, and yeah, he's also going to be busy with voicing Donkey Kong, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, because the new trailer to the final trailer to the Super Mario Brothers movie came out. So, but we'll talk about that more in just a few minutes, because there's one movie I've been meaning to. So yeah, overall, the new Turtles movie, Mutant Mayhem, is coming out August 4th. And so yeah, I'm gonna go see it. Happy birthday to me. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna be bragging about it. I don't care. And so yeah, it looks really good. I'm gonna have a fun time with it. And so yeah, I'll give everybody my thoughts when I see it. So um, let's see. So yeah, the other thing that they were that a lot of people were still bitching and moaning about, and I haven't had an opportunity to really talk about it as much. And it's the Little Mermaid. live action Little Mermaid movie. I may have talked about it a few times already this season at the beginning. Um, Actually, from especially from last season too, um, where Ariel is going to be played by Haley Bailey. Uh, it look so yeah. I think she's going to do well in the movie. Um, so a lot of people were, some people are still bitching and moaning about that, and I said, let me tell you something. And these are grown men complaining about this, grown ass people, mostly grown ass men, and say my Ariel's not black. I said, well then go beat off to the animated version. Leave us alone. Leave Disney alone with that shit. Come on now. It's like you're obsessed with a 16-year-old white woman. And she's a mermaid. Who gives a fuck? And anyways, it's based, supposedly it's a kid styling version of the classic book of the same name. I forgot who the author was, and I'm a bad person for not remembering the name. I want to say Ronald Dahl, but I'll probably be wrong about it. But yeah, it was a pretty good book and dark. The reason why is because of the stuff that went on in that book, and I'm not going to spoil it here in the show. But definitely, but Disney Disney turned it into a kids version where the ending was totally different, and it shows. But apparently everybody's making a big deal about this live action remake because it's not played by a white woman, and the hair is um not red enough, and I'm like, shut up. It's not for you. It's for the little girls. It's for the little girls who love princesses, and little girls don't give a shit. If it's a Disney princess, they're gonna buy the merchandise. You're gonna buy the merchandise for them because because that's what they want, and they're gonna love Ariel even more now because of the fact that this live action remake is going to be uh, played by a black woman. Who cares? And it's like I've seen the reaction videos from from these little girls, and they fell in love with this. Is that the fact that there's not enough, and also too, there's not enough black, and even back then, before when before Princess and the Frog, a lot of people said we're it was like we had an Arabian princess, but mothers were bitching and moaning because it's an Arabian princess around because this came around the same time as the war in the Persian Gulf. So uh, Disney heard the complaints and they whitewashed the characters, which meant that the animators had to paint them lighter so that they would look more Caucasian instead of um, Arabian like they were supposed to be. So that's why I like the live action one better than the animated one. Sue me. Because if they would have because I swear to God, if they whitewashed the characters in a live action remake, I would have been pissed. But I'm glad that they didn't go that route. So yeah, I have a lot of fun watching that movie. I really do. It's one of my guilty pleasures. But I'm not. That's not what I'm talking about. But but back then, they were saying, how come we're not getting it? How come there's no black princesses? There's so many white princesses and everything like that. It's like, why not? Why not make it more inclusive, like they did, like they should? Then all of a sudden, Princess and the Frog came out. Some were happy, while the rest were all pissed off and said, "Oh, I don't want my princess to be black. Why she have to be black?" and it's these ignorant white women bitching and moaning, and of course the men too. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's not, these princesses are not for you. These are for the little girls who want to be, who want to, you know, who want to be princesses. That's one of the things that a little girl loves to do. It's like they want to dress up as a princess, and it's like, it doesn't matter. In anyways, it doesn't matter. It really does not matter who's the Disney who. It doesn't matter what Disney princess is. They accept all girls. Doesn't matter if you're white, black. Doesn't matter. Asian, does not matter. You have yourself a Disney princess, and the little girls want the merchandise. Doesn't matter. You buy the tiara, you buy the you buy the dress and everything. And look, they're wearing this gown to look like Belle or Ariel or Elsa or Snow White or Princess Aurora. And I always have a hard time pronouncing that name, Aurora. So I always wind up saying Aurora. Sounds like a the sound that word Aurora sounds like a dog. It sounds like one of those dogs being cute when they're you know when they're in when they're being cute for the camera, and you show it on and it goes viral, and it goes and and they're like, oh my god, they're saying I love you. That's what it sounds like, a dog trying to say I love you in front of a camera. Now you know why I do. Now you know why my name is Tom Dog, because I sound like a dog all so well. Watch me wake up the neighbors. I was like, was there a dog out there? Wake up the neighbor's dog too. And like, where's the dog? It's a dog. It's a dog. It's like, nope, just Tom Dog. Oh, that bastard. And give me the look. It's like, oh, him. Hmm, I'm here at a train. Squirrel. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with Disney Princess. I mean, like, if they're wearing a tiara, you're gonna buy the merchandise. So it doesn't matter who. Like, doesn't matter. It's like, leave it alone. Let it go. For once in your life, just let it go. It's like, it's not catered. These princesses aren't catered to you. And instead, oh, it's not my princess. Like, guess what? Ariel wasn't your princess from the beginning, anyways. When you were a kid. Oh, and you want to know something? Here's a little fun fact that you probably did not know. Originally, Ariel was going to be black in the animated movie. So there. But they went ahead and did a white one. Did it white because Jennifer Taylor, who did the voice of Ariel, um, modeled it after her. And guess what? That's what happened. So there's your little backstory that none of you jackasses knew. So anybody has a problem with this live action Ariel, guess what? There's your little history. And don't say I never, don't say that Channel X has never been educational, because I just gave you a little history lesson, which is one of the most greatest histories in the world, part two. Thank you, Tom Dog. Thank you. Keep plugging it. Thank you, Mr. Brooks. Call me Mel. Here's my card. Let's do lunch. I know this little deli in Santa Monica. You'll love it. But people are actually okay with Ursula being in this one as well too. Which is also good. So yeah, it's a good pick for Ursula. And they're actually even a little. Some of them are kind of leery because has she ever sung before? And she's actually singing now in a Travelocity commercial, Booking.com, I should say. Watch that commercial, Booking.com. So yeah, she's going to do fine. And some are even complaining and saying, "Well, how come it wasn't Queen Latifah?" Well, Queen Latifah, even though she did a good Ursula on that Disney special on ABC, that was actually pretty good. But originally, and here's another fun fact about Ursula, about the Little Mermaid. Ursula was based off of a drag queen who went by the name of Divine, Miss Divine. So yeah, and so when word got out that Melissa McCarthy was going to play Ursula in the live action reboot, she's actually going to do Ursula really well because of the fact that Melissa McCarthy has done a lot of good. Has been a huge supporter of the LGBT community, more so in the drag queen community. More importantly, and so yeah, she is a huge supporter, and she actually has done shows with drag queens in the past before she became before she became this big movie star, and this wonderful actress that we all know today. And so yeah, she is she's amazing. So very talented woman, and yeah, she's going to do Ursula well, and especially with the singing and everything like that. And so yeah, they're going to leave that. They're leaving that alone. But the one thing that that a lot of people are always are also pissed off about, other than Ariel, which I'm not going to get into again. But another thing that there was an image that leaked out not too long ago, and it was they were doing like some sort of promotion. I want to say it was for McDonald's. I don't know, but there was this picture that came up, and there was a crab in the image, and it kind of, and people were thinking that maybe that's Sebastian. Well, if it is, good choice, because like I always say in these live action reboots or whatever, when you have an animal, you want to make them look realistic, not cartoony. Case in point, Lion King. I defended that, and everybody started leaving that alone when I defended Pumbaa, because That's not Pumbaa. Because remember a while back, people were complaining that it wasn't Pumbaa that they saw in the live action ish Lion King movie. Well, there you go. It worked, and everybody loved Pumbaa. Same thing with That's right. Thank you, Train. Trains. It's unusual that a train's going off the side. Anyway, see, I'm going off the rails on this crazy train, and that train is distracting. But some of these live action, with these live action reboots, if there's an animal or anything like that, you don't want to make them look cartoony. I've said this many, many times. That's why, I was I also defended Sonic the Hedgehog at the beginning, but I kind of let that slide because after the change up, I still embraced it because okay, they want to make it look, like the video game and everything like that, but still, I have a soft spot for ugly Sonic. I really do. And that design actually looked pretty good. And yeah, I know. Same thing with the Jungle Book. A lot of people were even complaining about that. It's like that's not Baloo. Maybe not the voice, but certainly that's a bear. I saw a bear in that movie. I saw a tiger. I saw a panther. I saw an orangutan voiced by Christopher Walken, and I actually had a chuckle on that part. Oobedu. I am King Louis. That's the only good impression of Christopher Walken I'm going to give you. Don't hurt yourself, Tom Dog. Don't hurt yourself. Thank you, Mel. No problem. See, Mel Brooks is going to be coming up. But I digress. But yeah, and even so, yeah, Sebastian. He's going to look fine. He's going to look fine no matter what he looks like. And so he's supposed to look like a crab. Wouldn't you want him to look like that cartoon version? Flounder is going to be the closest thing that's going to look like the cartoon. So, but even that, you know, just saying, just saying. Um, but all I do know is that you know this movie's going to be good. This movie's going to be good. Um, I'm not going to watch it because it's not. I'm going to wait till it hits on Disney Plus. Then I'm going to watch it. So yeah. Um, so because I'm not a kid, and I have no kids. So just saying. All right, so we got one more piece of material before we head on out, and that is, of course, um, the Chris Rock special, the first ever live Netflix special that came up. Um, I thought it was a good show. Good show. Um, a lot of people, some people were hating on it. It's like, oh, he shouldn't have said those things that he said about Will Smith. Let me tell you something, okay? First of all, he had every right to say what he said about Will Smith and that whole thing. And it was funny as hell. And and yeah, he was even right about it too. And and you want it's like first of all, picture yourself in Chris Rock's shoes last year at the Oscars. You're up there, you say a little joke that may or may not been appropriate to say or anything. Was it funny? Was it not funny? Doesn't matter. The point is, Will Smith should not have done, and I said this before, and I said this all last year when I was on. There was no matter whether it was funny or not, Chris Rock did not deserve to get slapped on stage. And a lot of people are going to are still going to defend it and saying that, yeah, he deserved it. No, he did not. And I'll tell you why. And I'm still going to defend, and I'm still going to stand behind Chris Rock on this, to the day I die, especially because still everybody is still talking about the slap, even though that the damage was done. The damage was done, and justice was kind of served on there. Whether the joke was funny or not a lot of people were laughing because it was kind of cringe because we all knew about about um Jada's mental illness. We all knew that she has alopecia, so we all knew that. The point is that so so yeah, maybe it didn't get a laugh from me and everybody else who saw it or heard it. So yeah, it may not have been funny, but Will Smith did laugh before Jada was seen on there rolling her eyes and looking at Will, and then, oh shit, I gotta do something, and then he goes right to Chris Rock, and then so mistake number one, should never done that at a live event. Number two mistake that he shouldn't have done, and everybody seems to forget and seems to forget about it, seems to overpass it, is that the fact that he's dropped not one but two F bombs on a live event. And knowing that the network censors are on constant watch because events like this, something's bound to happen, and they want to make sure that nobody slips up and says a swear. You can't say shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. You can't say all those things. So yeah, they got to watch that. And sometimes in award shows, you're overexcited that you win, and you do drop an F bomb or something else in that nature, and you're excited and because you won and everything like that, and it happens. We get it, but Will Smith was like, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth." He said that not once but twice, and even though here in the States we didn't get to hear the F bomb, but because of the delay and everything, but overseas you were able to watch, you were able to listen to it and see it on viral. So yeah, it was a really big deal because the FCC are going to have to fine had no choice but to do what they did, because they got to do their job and say, listen, you can't swear and everything like that. And what Will Smith did, and I still am going to say this, was what Will Smith did at last year's Oscars was the most unprofessional thing you could do. And yeah, my father and I have this little argument about this too. And I told him, I said, listen, it's like you of all people should know. And I told my father this. I said, listen, Dad, you of all people should know should know better than this, because you and I have both been on stage at an award show, whether giving out an award or winning an award. My father won a few awards at the time. I presented an award, and we both made. And whenever I'm on stage, I always throw in a joke or two. I always do. That's just how I am. But if there was anything ever said appropriate, do you think that anybody at the time would come up on stage during, and yeah, it wasn't a live event, but still, it was a televised, it was still a filmed event. You think anybody would go up on, come up on stage, slap me across the face, and say that, and say, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth? No, because they would edit that all out, and there would be some consequences. Whether that, not by me, but by the person who came up on stage and slapped me across the face. Because at the time there was a group called the GWCC, and they were looking at me because of what I was doing at the time. That's why the GWCC was formed to begin with, because of my behavior on television. So they kept a constant watch on what I was going to do at an award show, because they were kind of leery about that, because during my suspension, I appeared at one of the award shows presenting an award to my father. Just saying. But I digress. But I told you that story to tell you that one. It doesn't matter what award show you do. You have to. Doesn't matter if you're on. If you're, not presenting or anything like that. You're just sitting there, you know, being nominated and everything like that. If they if somebody tells a joke about you that you didn't like, instead of going up on stage, what Will should have done, and I'm going to keep on saying this to the day I die, Will Smith should have just, after he won his award or something like that, to say, listen, I did not like the joke that you said about my wife. I didn't like it, and I appreciated that you apologized to my wife. He could have said that. He could have been a better man than that. But no, no. Will Smith took the low road, walked up on stage, slapped the shit you know, out of Chris Rock, and went back to his seat and said what he said. The most unprofessional thing that he could ever do at a live event, at a big event like the Oscars. Doesn't, hey, whatever backlash that the Oscars going, whatever reputation that whatever bad reputation that the Oscars have at that time, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It has nothing compared to what Will Smith did. And now, because of that, he has a 10-year ban. He cannot show up at the Oscars for the next 10 years. So yeah, that's on him, because he messed up. And the thing that's even more fucked up is that the fact that he won Best Actor, his first Oscar win, ruined because everybody was more focused on the slap that he did. That's why everybody is still talking about it to this day. And yeah, a lot of people are still bored, are still, tired of hearing about it. But guess what? We're still going to talk about it. A lot of people are still going to talk about it, because we're never going to forget what Will Smith did. What he did was unprofessional, bottom line. Chris Rock didn't deserve it, whether the joke was funny or not. He did not deserve to get embarrassed like that on stage at a live event. Just saying. And Chris handled it well and handled the situation well because yeah, any other time he probably would have beat the shit out of him. Just saying. But he didn't go that road because he would be wrong too. All he said was a inappropriate joke. Yeah, it may have been inappropriate. Yeah, it was inappropriate. I will agree onto that. Did I laugh? No, I did not. But let's put it this way: what if what if Will Smith was getting roasted? A lot of celebrities at the time, um, they have this thing called a celebrity roast, where a bunch of celebrities get together and roast um, the person of the person of honor, whomever they're roasting. You watch those Friars Club roasts, you watch the Comedy Central roasts every year, and they roast the main person of the hour. And do you think any one of those? You think Will Smith? Let's say, for example, Will Smith gets roasted, and a bunch of times they don't know. Normally, a bunch of times they they even say something to the people in the audience. Sometimes their better half. I've seen them all, and they bring in it whether and at a roast, all gloves are off. It's free. Free. Um, it's a free for all, basically, and that's what real. You know, which means that if Will Smith was up, excuse me, which proves that if Will Smith was ever getting an honor of getting roasted, we know that he could not handle it, nor Jada. Just proves it right there. Because all gloves are, everything is off, everything is free for all when it comes to being roasted. So that just proves that Will Smith, yeah, he had a he had a big major he was a star of a major sitcom, and there was always some huge um you know it was a really good show with a lot of comedy, but when the drama hit. But and the music that he did, some of them were funny, some of them were really cool. But the thing is, Will Smith proved to everybody that he cannot take a joke. It does not doesn't matter if it was good or bad. Yeah, it was bad. It was not a good joke, but everything would have been okay if it was at a roast. If Will Smith was being roasted, and it's like because if Chris Rock was there and and being there to roast Will Smith, it's like Jada's out there and everything. Jada's here. Welcome. Looking lovely. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. If he said that at a roast, just saying, just saying. And it will just prove that, you know, doesn't matter if it was funny or not. It doesn't matter if it was funny or not. And if it wasn't funny, obviously it wasn't. Will Smith should have been more professional and just pulled him aside and said, "Listen, Chris, that was a really I my wife did not like that joke. She was offended by that joke. I think you need to apologize to her, you know, and everything." And then it would be up to Chris to be okay. All right, no problem. I apologize and everything. You know, if it wasn't backstage, if you didn't bump into him backstage, talk about it, then could have waited till the after party. But no, that did not happen. Will Smith did what he did, and now he's paying the consequences for it. End of story. You know, and Chris Rock did not deserve to get slapped on stage in front of everybody, in front of millions of people, whether they were whether they were whether there were thousands at attendance, whether there were hundreds or thousands in attendance, or millions watching all over the world. He did not need to be embarrassed like that, because it was embarrassing. Not only to Chris Rock, but to Will Smith for doing what he did. It was embarrassing because because Will Smith looked like a fool. And the thing is, his apologies are meaningless now, because he went on video showing his Oscar not too long ago. He showed his Oscar, and it's like, let's just talk about this. It's like, let's not, because what you did should be a reminder of your behavior, and why you should be thanking the Academy for not taking that award away from you. I'm just saying, because what Will Smith did was unprofessional, and so what better way to get redemption than to have Chris Rock do this live special where all gloves are off, knowing that Will Smith is nowhere to be found, and he could say that joke and everything like that. And what he said was a hell of a lot better than what he said at the Oscars, and it was funny. So yeah, redemption well received. So yeah, and if you haven't seen this special, I strongly suggest you watch it, because it was a really good special. I liked it. So let's just hope that now finally we can move on to this from this, because I don't think we need to hear any more about it. But bottom line, Chris Rock is I like Chris Rock. He is funny. I like him, and no one's asking no one's asking anybody else to like him. It's like, you like who you like, but really, let's be realistic. Chris Rock did not deserve the humiliation that he got at the Oscars last year. Just saying. And I know I was supposed to talk about the Oscars and about my predictions, but I'll do one quick one. Whale, Best Picture. My prediction. Brendan Fraser, Best Actor. My prediction. That actor, I forgot the actress's name for Everything Everywhere. Um, I forgot her. I forgot. I totally am running a blank on her name. But yeah, best actress. My prediction. So okay. With that being said, I'm looking at the time, and I definitely got to call it a night here. But thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. Excuse me. And so thank you all for allowing me to entertain you each and every week and allow me to entertain her whether you're watching me on your phone or on your smart television. Does not matter. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, we're enjoying this, and I like that. Um, but yeah, I love you all so. I love you all so much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I am very sincere about that. You know, I really am. Not a lot of people, not a lot of YouTubers out there would say that, but you can count on me. You really can. But yeah, be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's show, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Thumbs up the video if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. Comment down below who do you think is going to win Best Picture in the Oscars. Who do you think is going to win Best Picture of the Academy Awards on Sunday? Let us know in the comments down below. Ringy dingy that bell so you can stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And be sure to support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing you could do for a small streamer like myself. And like I said before, we will love you forever. We love you. We appreciate your support. And we do. We really do. We are very sincere. And we small streamers are very sincere. And we mean what we say and not bullshit you when we say that we appreciate you and love you forever because you're supporting us. And we will love you even more if you do the most important thing you can do for a small streamer like myself, and that is face hug that subscribe button. We will see you all again here next week for our St. Patrick's Day special. So tune in for that. We're going to have a lot of fun. And one of our laid back shows that we do. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We want to get you more involved as well too. But that will be next week. Same Tom Dog time, same Tom Dog channel X. Till then, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. And love you all. Have a good night, everybody.